Just talking blues. Just talking blues.
When I hold on to hope, some days it's all I've got. When I hold on to wonder, believe it or not, remember love, born with it in our hearts. Keep memories close, they make us who we are. When it's all been said, I think it's all been done. There's another song.
Barry and Kelly, thank you for joining me. How are you?
Really well, man.
Hello, how you doing?
Fantastic. Fantastic, thank you. Now, your latest release, which came out yesterday, is called It's All Been Said. Congratulations.
Thank
you. Yeah, but tell me a little bit about the album, what the story is behind the album, what songs are on the album.
Well, we'd actually done a self-titled one 18 months ago. So, and we thought that would do us for a couple of years, but the songs kept rolling out of us. For some reason, everything kept, we actually had new songs and we're putting in our live set. So about May, June last year, we decided just to go in the studio and put some of those down, some of those tracks. And out of that, there was a couple that we thought, hey, this is working really well. So we was writing them as, and then going to the studio and writing a bunch of songs. So, and we went in the studio about 3 times. The idea with this is that all of us are fairly experienced in studios. So we do our pre-production beforehand and then we just allow the moment to happen when in the studio. So you'll the sound that you're probably hearing on and having our first one, it's very live. It's not overproduced. It's got that live feel and sounds like what the band does sound live. So, with the full backing of the harmonies and everything like that. So that's how it all started. We hadn't exactly planned, but we decided to go ahead with a new album. So yeah.
We had the songs. Yeah.
Pardon me?
We had the songs, so
You had
get
the
them in
songs?
work. Yeah.
Sure. And I believe there's two standout tracks on the album. What are they? And what makes them so significant?
I think the title track, It's All Been Said, to me, that's the one that draws in all the strings of all the other songs on the album. It's the song that came last, and we wrote it quite quickly, didn't we? That one happened quite quick. It happened to us, which is when a song happens to you, you go, oh, that's okay, you just let it happen. But that one brings in all the concepts and thoughts on the album, and basically it's an album of love and loss and joy, So that one, my standout one. What about you, Baz?
Well, I always like a backward glance.
Yeah.
That's got a. I actually brought that to the music to the band, and Kel brought the music. I had like a Renee Gay, a Janis Joplin type vocal in the back, in my head when I was writing it. But it was purely and the beauty about this band, you have an idea, and you just bring it in, and then it builds into something that maybe it wasn't what you started with, but as a lot of songs that, in this album, what they started at and what they ended up as were they were similar but not the same. So, and using, especially this album, has got a lot of influences on it. So it's a very different influences. Each song is an individual song. Each song will stand on its own. If you was going to do a single, so there's no other filler tracks, and that was one of our that's what we wanted to do. Everything had to stand on its own. Every track.
Yes, because we don't base our music on genre. we base it on what it wants to be, basically. So
That's
yeah,
it.
Backlands is a killer track. I love that one.
Yeah. So when you say it's not just one genre, I see there's Americana, blues, alt country, folk, and rock all mixed in. Is it?
That's about
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
music salad. Yes.
Fantastic. Yes. And that's what makes it so distinctive. Now, Barry, you're the actual founder of the PepperCreek Revival. How did it all start?
Well, yes. I've always been a sideman since I was 17 years old playing bass. You know, so this time around, I wanted to have my own band, so and do it my way. Because I was always producing for other people, or playing, backing the way they, and interpreting for myself. So I wanted to do this my way, in as much as having guys that I've worked with over the years that I really like working with, and have a broad musical backgrounds. And certainly Brian Fraser, I was doing a weekend tour with him, and I mentioned to have been putting a band together, and he said, okay. And Brian's brought the lap steel. He's brought the acoustic guitars, and so, and then Roland Kretschmar, I'd worked with his band, and I produced his band in 1992 or 95 or something. I can't remember. It was a while back, a long while back. But he's bought the mandolin. He's bought the 12-string guitar. He's bought. He's got a country. He plays country, but he plays he plays in Irish bands as well. So that was the basis of the band. That's where that started. So we started jamming about 2019 in the studio. We ended up doing a couple of albums as a session band. So, and that session band, it changed over the years, and we went through the COVID thing. And during the COVID thing, it was I was looking at Kelly and I have known each other for many years, over 30 years,
Decades.
Yeah, right.
Still good mates.
Yeah, and we worked with each other, but not in a band form. So I brought Kel, come and have a sing in the studio with the session band, and that's where the band at this point did not have a PepperCreek Revival, didn't have a name. I mean, this was a band. So for a little while, it was Kelly's backing band, being up front and using a lot of her back catalogue as our basis, our starting basis with this band. And Kel has, and then we realised we were writing stuff easily. So, and then Kelly's drummer, who's a long-time drummer, who went with her to Memphis in the Blues Challenge, Nick Carafa, he also is a songwriter and a great singer and a great drummer. So that's how the band sort of come together. The band, I needed a band that could turn corners quickly. I need something here. I need something there. I wanted a guitar-orientated band. Once you start adding keyboards, that's another level as well. So, which I'm not against, So, and I wanted that hard edge, a bit more rocky sound, and Kel's always had a keyboard player with her. So, it was interesting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's good to do new. Yeah.
Sure is. Now, Barry, you've also been inducted into the Music Hall of Fame over in Victoria as well. Is that right?
That's true. Yeah. Yes. That was a bit of a head spin. Yeah.
Yeah. So how did that come about?
Well, look, as you probably know, I worked with the Dutch Tildes for many years.
Yes.
And I produced a few of his albums, on a label I had. Also, I was I put together Real Australian Blues, Volume 1, 2, 3, and 4, which nearly had nearly 100 bands. So I've had my finger in the pie all this time, Kelvin. So
Yeah, right.
it's just so, and also my partner Helen Jennings. She's from PBS, from 3PBS. That her and I have been having. I was helping her out at festivals, and she had the Melbourne Blues Festival and things like that. It's just it was all that work, unpaid, out of my pocket, whatever it was, just the love of doing it. And I was sort of chuffed to actually get it. The interesting thing is that the Blues Club, Dutch Stills and the Blues Club, which is Jeff Atchison and Winston Galea, all the three of us and all four of us, including Dutch, have been inducted. So, which is a lovely thing, you know. So, and with all of us having input into the blues scene here in Melbourne, yeah.
And that was one of the first bands I saw when I moved to Melbourne at the MBAS.
Yep.
Go to the blues, you meet people, you jam, and that was it.
So it must have been a pretty big moment working with Dutch.
Oh, every night was a big moment.
Yeah.
He's a guy. He would not have a set list, so we did not. We did not know what was going to come up next. So he so it was a lot of edge. It was a lot of jamming, and I think we went into rehearsal studio over the 13 or 14 years. I think it's about twice. And the only reason why he went because we was about to do some new songs for the next album coming up. We actually and that was born out of the Blues Club was born out of the jamming on Monday night at the Windsor Castle in Windsor, and which went on for many years. So
it's an institution.
That was an institution on a Monday night, and that's where I met Dutch. I'd basically come from Tasmania in 1984. The first night in Melbourne, I was taken to the Windsor Castle, and the bass player, Peter Howe, was about to leave town. He says, and Peter and I had met each other over the years. Peter said to Dutch, Dutch, this is Barry Hills. He's your new bass player. And that's how I started in the Melbourne blues scene. So that was on the first night, and from there on in, it just kept going. So yeah,
right. So you'd be quite friendly with Lynn Wright then.
With
Lynn Wright?
Oh, well, yes. Well,
Peanuts.
Yes, yeah, we would Peanuts. Yes. So we've worked together over the years. Yeah.
Yeah. I got to I actually had a chat with Lynn many months back now. She's a lovely lady.
Yeah. Well, she was.
Yeah. She was Dutch's manager, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, Helen, when I first met the Dutch, Helen Jennings was his manager, and then there was things changed, and so and Lynn took over everything. So yeah, so
excellent. Now, Kelly, you've been you've got a big involvement in the Melbourne Blues Appreciation Society, I believe.
I first met Barry and Helen when I came to Melbourne. Didn't know anyone here in '89, and I've been involved in the blues circuit since. So yeah, it's a great way to meet people and get your name out there, and formulate bands and so on. End up doing something incredible like this, like PepperCreek Revival. Yeah, I've done a fair bit over the years.
Yeah. So there was no breaking anyone's arms or anything like that for you to join up with these guys?
No, we don't go in for that. That's way too exhausting.
No.
We're pretty laid back. We're a very laid back bunch of people. We have a lot of experience between us, and we have a lot of respect for one another. And I know if Barry comes up with a bass line, it'll be the bass line because he's the bass player and he knows his stuff. All the guys in the band, we all really have had a lot of experience in our own fields and playing lots of different music. I've done church choir, classical, pop, rock, R&B, soul. I sing everything except probably jazz and death metal.
Yep.
So lads know that when I put my head down to write a lyric that I care about what we're saying and we trust one another. So yeah, I just I consider myself really lucky. You know, I've had a
Sure.
long career and a really exciting career and still managed to have two sons as well. So but the blues is the basis for all of it in my mind. You know, I grew up
Sure.
with a lot of music like Odetta and Robeson and McKeever and people like that. So a lot of folk music, the Arlo, the Guthries and so on when I was a kid. So
Yeah.
it's all grist for the mill, you know, everything you've ever done and everything the five people in the room have done all comes into the center when you're making a new song. So it's quite magical and it's always an adventure and it's really exciting. So
I
yeah.
I can only begin to imagine. Yeah. Yeah. So how different is it, Kelly, working with these guys, working with PepperCreek Revival compared to working solo? Is there a big difference for you?
Well, totally, because I never work solo.
Okay.
I'm not, look, I tell a lie. I go to sometimes the occasional open mic night and I'll have my guitar and I'll sing some folky tunes and so on, but I'm not, I love singing with the band and I have no real urge to do solo shows because no, thanks.
Right.
I love working with the band.
Right. So who are you working with before you started working with Barry and the band?
Okay, the last band that I was working with, Boris Connolly, piano player, Max McIntosh, bass player, and Nick Carafa, the drummer singer, who's also in PepperCreek Revival. We worked together for quite a few years. He had quite a lot of success working festivals all around Australia and made a few albums. And the last one we did was 2017 when we made Kelly's Blues, which we took to Memphis.
That's right.
It's very different. Singing with a piano-based band is really different than singing with the strings, with the guitars and mandos. Mando is arguably my favorite instrument to listen to. I love it.
Of
And
course.
you tune in differently when you're working with the piano or a guitar, and there are different options, and it feels like a brand new adventure in a way. Because I used to work many years ago with bands with guitars, and then guitar and piano and so on. So what we've got here is a brilliant mix, I think, of personalities, tastes, abilities, and it's really very different from singing with a piano-based band. And when Boris and Max and I went to Memphis for the IBC, we had a lot of people stopping us in the street and saying things like, "Oh, you're the Aussie band. You're different. We like you," because we didn't have guitar or we didn't have a blues harp or we weren't straight up blues, you know, we a bit more adventurous. So I just love all music, and as long as it rings true,
Yes.
as long as the words ring true and people play with soul and spirit, then I'm in there.
Fantastic.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Mm.
What was it like over in Memphis when you went over there to do the IBC?
It was extraordinary. There were 240 acts, and the level
Yep.
of playing and musicianship and professionalism and the costuming and the amount of thought and work that went into it by all of the bands, it was just phenomenal. And the experience in itself, just being there, meeting these people, the different venues. We wrote a song on Kelly's Blues. It was called Hot Tin Roof. And it was basically about being like a cat on a hot tin roof, people who tell lies and then can't back out of what they've said. And then when we went to Memphis, the very first venue we worked in was called the Tin Roof.
The
And
Tin
so we played Hot Tin Roof, that song, at that particular the first gig. And we had people coming up afterwards, "Man, you wrote a song for us, for our venue." We go, "Yes, we did. Yes, we did." we wrote it for you. But of course, we were sitting in Melbourne when we wrote that song. So those words
course.
had. So life is funny. If you get out of your own way, there's a lot of adventure and amazing things that can happen. But we found everyone in the States, we were, of course, associating with musical people. We found them quite incredible. We went to Nashville, we went to the Country Music Museum and sat out the front and sang Crazy and Walking After Midnight a cappella. And people were stopping on the streets and taking photos. "Where are you from?" "Oh, we're from Australia." "Australia." We drove down through the center of America. We went to Clarksdale. We went to a lot of the museums. We spent quite a lot of time at the Civil Rights Museum, and out the front there's a freedom wall, this incredible mural on it. And we stood out the front there and sang an a cappella ballad called Freedom. And it was just, then we went to, well, after we'd been to Clarksdale, we went to New Orleans. And of course, that was a totally different experience again. And everywhere we went, there was great music and there was great people. They were so kind. And I just missed having a salad sandwich. That's all I missed.
Wow. Yeah. Well, what about you, Barry? Have you been over to Memphis before?
No. I actually spent a bit of time in the UK in the 70s in a rock band. And so that was 77, 78, 76, or it's a long time ago. So I went with a rock band from Tasmania. So all the way to England, and I lived over there, and England worked over there, played, and then so that was an interesting time, and seeing bands like Bad Company live, and the original Pink Floyd, and it was just sort of like a lot of music. It was just sort of like I was just like a sponge, just taking it all in. It was fantastic. So, and I wasn't till later on I realised that was going to be a basis of my musical, because I got such a wide love of music. I played in a country band, and played at Tamworth a few times. So I've got a wide ranging. I just love good music, and after playing with the Dutch for many years in the blues scene, and I loved every minute. Don't get me wrong, and certainly bringing this band together to be able to do things that you love it's even it's more of an achievement, and this is just the icing on the cake. It's lovely.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's cake icing. That's what it is.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's not there's no little people on top.
No, that's right. But when we're working together, it's like these strings come between the five of the five of us, and in the center is the song, the new song.
Yes.
We're all really open-minded to what that song could eventually become. We don't try and box it or say this is a country tune or this is a blues song. We go, we're musicians, we're writing songs, let it be what it's going to be. And the result is what's in your hands now with It's All Been Said. It's just, we allow it. We don't try and control it and say, well, we're only doing the blues, Barry. We're only doing country songs.
There was a song off the album, Remember, and we decided that was going to be the second single. I think the second single. Can you put a genre to it, please? So I just made one up. I said Euro country, right? There's no such thing as Euro country, but because it had a mandolin, and it had that bouzouki types, why not?
Yes.
And the media ran with it. I love it. Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Definitely creative. No, it is. It's good. It's good. And I had a bit of a chuckle when I seen that Euro country. I thought, what is Euro country?
When in doubt, create one.
When in doubt, exactly. And I'm sure sooner or later that is going to come out.
Of course it will. Yeah. It'll be a thing now.
Yeah.
It will be a thing. It will.
It's a thing.
Yes. Now, one question I do like to ask artists is what their take is on the current situation with the music industry.
Oh, that's a big question.
It is.
Actually,
I mean,
I'm going to take that, Calvin, because I was only just having a conversation with a DJ in South Australia the other day. Everyone's looking for the next new thing, and it's become too many new things, right? Everything's new. Now we're as seniors in the industry, and loving every minute of it. So
we're big kids now.
So what was it that might? I like to be 20 in the 70s, but not so 70 in the. What was it?
No, that's not it.
It's just 70 in the 20s. Yeah, yeah. It's just 70 in the 20s. So it's a different. It's the whole scene. I mean, it's certainly the technology, streaming, which is a whole new world. People not going out to live music as much as they used to. The generation now doesn't even go out drinking anymore, or have that sort of psyche that we would have had as we were younger. And live music was part of our life, at least once a week, right? It was a Friday night. Hey, we're going to go and see a band, or Saturday night, and whatever. But so that's to me, that sums up what the industry has changed. There's not that basis of new, because you can have it instantly now on your streaming services. You can have it. You can just take one track off an album and buy it and use it. Whereas people are not listening to a whole album. It's and appreciating what that album from start to finish and the work that's gone into doing that. And Led Zeppelin albums, our Beatles albums, it doesn't matter, Ozzy Osbourne and Black Sabbath, the amount of work and all those bands used to put in to make it all work from start to finish.
Yeah.
That creative, or it's not acknowledged anymore.
Yes.
It's quite sad, and it's that I don't think that's going to ever change. And now we've got added a thing about with AI and stuff like that to add another level to it. So
we don't use AI for writing. If I said to Barry earlier, if I ever need help from a computer to write a lyric, I'm done. That will be the end for me, because as far as I'm concerned, music and creativity is human endeavor, and it comes from human experience and the world around us and so on. And I think the sands of time have changed, definitely. But it used to be that you couldn't promote your work if you didn't know people in radio, in newspapers, in the gig guides and so on. And it was harder to get yourself promoted. These days, we can all go on all the socials and all promote ourselves and so on, but there's so much going on out there. And I believe that the personal connection to your fan base is what makes a really big difference. Certainly for us, for an elders band, as we could call ourselves, if you like. People that listened to our previous album, they liked the fact that it was an album of songs. It wasn't just the one song that they would take from that. But nowadays, a lot of people, they curate their own song playlists, and they might have 2 of PepperCreek Revival songs, and they might have one of this guy and someone from the 60s, and that all these different artists and different sounds according to that person's individual taste. So it has changed, but I honestly think that art is humanity itself, and that's what's really important to us. And I think our fans really get that.
Yeah,
they know that we've been around for a while, and we want to create things that inspire thought and emotion and healing, particularly healing.
Yeah, that's important.
But we did put a disclaimer on our album, didn't we?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
We said this music has been created by human beings. Yeah.
Excellent. That's what I like to see. I like to see that. Yeah.
I believe a lot more people are doing that now, Kelvin, stating that.
Yes. Well, you look at. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I think there are some positives towards AI, but there are also a lot of negatives. It's the way you use AI. It can be used for the good, and it can also be used for the bad also.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, I'm only guessing that a lot of people aren't understanding AI at all.
Oh, it's very new and very fresh. The younger generations are dealing with it differently. It's hard for people like teachers and so on to figure out what is and what isn't. With my students, I've found that I could say, they could say, "Oh, look at this, Kelly. This is AI," and I go, "Okay, if you say so," because we're not trained into that technology. But all new technologies have the capacity to be used well or not. It depends
That's
how we
right.
use them and how we accept them to our worlds, and also where the gatekeepers are, where the lines are drawn about what is okay and what's not okay, because intellectual property we're all protected, of course, with APRA
Yeah.
and registering songs and doing the right thing and so on. But it's certainly different days. Yes,
Yeah.
song. It's about the music.
Yeah. Well, there was a report on, I think it was a current affair or like the 7:30 report or something like that, along the lines of there was a reporter walked into a studio with Felicity Urquhart and the lead singer of the Waifs, and a reporter held out her phone and said, "Listen to this," and they said, "Wow, that's fantastic. Who is it?" And it's AI.
Yeah.
So, and I believe also that Spotify have just recently pulled a lot of AI generated music off their platform. So, it's, as I say, it can be useful, but it can also be dangerous at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It depends
So-
on whose hands it's in.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think also there are in our fan base, at any rate, we know that our fans love that our songs come from our own blood, sweat, and tears, if you like. That they
Yeah,
come from
yeah.
us as human personages.
Yeah.
Human
Yeah.
personages.
Yeah. I mean,
Well, that's right.
I've used AI in I mean, I've been writing some blues biographies. So
Yeah.
a 4-hour interview can be, it is just so much help. It's just certainly, and it compiles. But even some of our promo, I'm stuck for words because you're having to bring out promo things. So I'll put something on paper and just and see what that will do. But that's purely for that's work. That's not musical. It's not
No, it's
about
right.
creating anything.
It's not stealing anyone's income.
No.
Well,
No.
there is that too, Kelvin.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think live shows and merchandise is how musicians can make an income these days.
Yeah.
Streaming, you need to have very, very many, many, many hits on your songs to make a dent in your bank account. But ultimately, I think also for me, I've had a fabulous career and toured around and worked with great musicians and done fantastic supports and so on. So with this band, with PepperCreek Revival, it's like, what a bonus. Like we can have fun and write great songs. And we've all of us have already had careers. So this is an extension of what is possible, I suppose. So if we can use technology to help us in certain ways, it's good. But technology is always dependent on whose hands it's in. It's like the printing press. The printing press came along, everyone went, "Oh my God, now there's going to be a problem. All those scribes are going to be out of work. People sitting all day doing this." But then it meant that, poorer people who never really had an education could learn to read and could have books and so on. So it was a good thing, but everyone had a big major panic to start with,
Morse code.
Carrier pigeon.
The good old telegraph. Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny, isn't it?
Wonder what they were thinking when they came along. Yeah. Now, guys, just before we go, I just want to touch a little bit more on the album. You guys are actually launching the album in March.
Yep.
At Lamont,
At the Alignment Hotel in Brunswick.
Brunswick. That's right.
Yeah.
March 14th,
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
It's a 5 o'clock gig.
Yeah.
So you're home in bed by 7:30. So
No, you get out of
Lovely.
the venue at 7:30.
oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh,
We don't
that's
have-
another- yeah, that-
We don't
oh,
unlock the
sorry.
doors till 7:30. You can go home now. Oh, there's another band after us anyway. The Lomans great. They were always putting music on. Yeah, very supportive.
Yeah. Now that must be. I don't know much about the Lomans, but it must be a big place for launching artists and albums and material and stuff like that.
Not really. It's a very
No.
popular local pub. It's a family pub. It's very relaxed. You can certainly fit enough people into it to make it a fantastic record launch or a show. But there's all different shows that
But it's
happen
been
there.
around a long.
It has.
It's been part of the Melbourne scene for many years, and yes, it also allows that roots music. That's the spaces. There's it's if everyone's played there at some point. So,
Yeah.
and it doesn't. It has a drum riser about the size of a drumstick, so it's on the floor. So it's not, it's really good. It always has good sound people there. But yeah, and the next weekend, Kelvin, we're playing at the St Kilda Blues Festival on Sunday, which is going to be huge at the RSL on Sundays. Yes, so there's always things to do.
Of course. So what after the launch of this album, what's next for you guys? Are you going to be doing another album or?
Yeah.
Kelly said to me the other day, I've got some new songs. Like, no, it's just sort of like, well, let's get these out first. Yeah. But you can see that's the we're actually looking at they're doing festivals later in the year and yeah, so it's we being a very relaxed band, we sort of just take this as it comes. We're not quite well. We used to be in the early days. We'll be booking up 12 months ahead, but so some of us have got other projects on. So try that thing within everyone's project. So and that can be a challenge at sometimes, but most of the time we everything fits in with each other, so that's fine.
Yeah, synchronized diaries.
Yeah,
it'll be all right.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So where can people purchase this new album?
So it's on Bandcamp. It's also from our website, PepperCreek.com, PepperCreekRevival.com. And it's available there, both digital and the physical. Yeah, here we go. So we've got the physical CD and the digital download. So I believe that the Bandcamp, if you buy the CD, you actually get a free download as well. So which is cool.
Two for the price of one. Whew.
And as you can see, we've got merch.
Yeah, T-shirts. Yep. And the photo on the front of this was one of my mother's that she took when we lived up in the Kimberley Ranges.
When was that?
We were little. When I was like 3 or 4, when I was only little. So this is a very old and beautiful photograph. So
that's
happy
awesome.
about
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
it's always good to have something from your past. That can work within a project in the now.
Yeah. Well, when we decided we were calling the album "It's All Been Said," and we were thinking about art, we said, well, we don't want a photograph of us on the front on board of us. So I was fishing around in family archives and I pulled this one out. So look, folks, isn't it pretty? The long road. So it is. It's great. I'm sure my mum would have been very, very pleased.
Yes. No. All right. Well, guys, look, thank you very much for taking the time to chat.
Thank you.
I must also give a big thanks to Annie as well. She was a great help getting you guys to come on. So yeah,
thank you very much to Annie.
Thanks to you, Kelvin. Yeah,
yes.
I've looked at your other shows, and you really are doing a fantastic job, mate.
I appreciate it. I love being community orientated, and my love for the blues, the country, the folk music. I love it all.
Fantastic.
So
thank you so much.
No worries. All right, guys. Well, again, I appreciate you taking the time, and good luck with the launch and when you tour the album. And I'm sure it's gonna do well on the Aberrac charts as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yes.
And I want to go to Perth. I've been to Perth in years.
Yeah.
Come over.
Yeah. Get in the TARDIS. Come on down.
Woo.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Right.
All right, guys, thank you so much, and good luck.
Thanks, Kelvin.
Thank
Cheers,
you,
mate.
Calvin. Bye.
Cheers, thank-
Kick down